I got to know that both of you have also taken this conscious decision of not having a child.
In Indian families, you have to follow a set rule. 25 में शादी, 28 में पहला बच्चा, 30 में दूसरा बच्चा. Then you are completely in your kids. Initially, when we moved to Delhi, I had made up my mind that I don't want to raise a child in this environment.
Did you guys have consciously a conversation how you're going to deal with money?
I always see a couple as, a part of Venn diagram. Like there are two circles, but you are together only in the middle part where both circles unite. You are still individuals and you still have your own part of area of your circle to do things. You cannot lose that when you are together.
What is the first thing you would spend it on?
Travel.
Definitely travel.
What do you value more, freedom to spend today or financial security for the future?
I'll say both because I don't want to choose from this. I want both things.
We'll do a quick rapid fire Karan Johar style.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi Apeksha. Hi Yatish.
Hi.
Welcome to the Moving in Financially podcast. Thank you so much for agreeing to be amongst the very first few guests on the show. As I'd explained to you prior to when I was speaking to you about this podcast, here the endeavor is to speak to real life couples, people who could be your neighbors, your friends, your work colleagues as well, and try to understand their life journeys, how they manage finances on an ongoing basis, what are the kind of challenges that you face in managing money as a couple, right? So I would love to hear from you. And to get started, Apeksha, why don't you tell us a little bit about your childhood, your growing up years?
So, I'm actually born in Mumbai, but brought up in Pune.
Okay.
So, when I was like 15 days old, my parents moved to Pune, and since then, my childhood, my education, everything has been in Pune.
Okay.
So, growing up, I think my father had a transferable job. He worked in a government office, so he had a transferable job. So there were always years and days when he was not with us, and he had to be where his transfer was. So my childhood was majorly with my mother, my elder brother, and my grandparents.
Okay.
And so I did my studies in Kendriya Vidyalaya Ganesh Khin, and then I decided to do science.
Okay.
So my bachelor's is in zoology and my master's is in environmental science.
Okay.
So, that's how my childhood and education background is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. I'm meeting someone for the first time with a background in zoology, if I'm pronouncing it correct.
Correct.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yatish, what about you? Tell us a little bit about your growing up years.
Sure, Rahul. So, absolutely, just like Apeksha, even I am born in Mumbai.
Okay.
So, I did my entire schooling in Mumbai and then shifted to Pune. So, as we say, ki Mumbai is also my Janma Bhumi and now Pune is my Karma Bhumi.
Okay.
So, but yeah, since childhood, I was very much exposed to nature, the aspects of nature, the concept of nature, why nature is important, and so on and so forth. So that is why I was always attracted to all the elements of nature, why they are important, try to discover more about them, try to find more information about them and implicate that aspect in my life as well. So इसीलिए after I had decided to make nature as part of my lifestyle as well in the form of my hobby and also in terms of education.
Okay.
So that is why even I came into the environmental sector, especially to study more about wildlife and biodiversity. And then as nature, trekking became one of my hobbies and passion, and a specific sector of animals which we call as herbs, reptiles and amphibians. I was more attracted to that. So that is something I also started to discover more. So this has been my journey now, and currently, yes, I am working, but my passion still remains herping, photography and trekking in nature.
Okay. And where did you go to school and college?
So in school, I used to go in Parletek Vidyalaya, which is at Vile Parle in Mumbai. So till 10th, I was in Parletek Vidyalaya. And after coming to Pune, I did my entire college in Ferguson College.
Okay.
And yeah, after that, I got my first job. Then I again had to shift back to Navi Mumbai this time, not actual Mumbai. But then to be more into the sector and to gain more exposure, then I shifted to Delhi. We shifted to Delhi for around 6-7 years to study more, or get more exposure in that sector in terms of the job as well.
Okay.
So then we were for around 6-7 years in Delhi, and now we have shifted back to Pune.
Okay.
So
Amazing.
college is also where we met
Yeah.
first.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what they call in America is college sweethearts.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah.
So what about you? I mean, how was so? I think I'm sure college would have been a very, very interesting time and a very fun time for both of you.
Yeah, so actually, we met in the first year of our graduation. So
Okay.
first year BSc
Okay.
is what we call it in
Right.
Pune. So FY BSc. So that's where we met, and I think the most I have traveled and the most I have explored is with Yatish.
Okay.
Uh, because growing up, like I mentioned, my father was always traveling or maybe always away. So spending time with him was mainly at home. So whenever he used to come, we wanted to spend time with
Yeah.
him at home than going somewhere and spending time, right? So I explored the most with Yatish, and we met when we were 18. So we have actually grown up together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, so we have seen each other's journey.
Okay.
I also did some hiking with him.
She tried. Yeah.
I tried, but it. I don't know. It didn't intrigue me that much because it felt more of a pain than. But yeah, I did enjoy that, and of course college, and then we did our masters also together, environmental science. So yeah.
So staying on the hiking, so would you want Apeksha to be with you on all the hikes that you do together?
No.
That's the feeling I got actually. The way you said she tried.
No. For some easy hikes, yeah, she can try them out. But no, for the kind of hiking I like, more of a exploring kind of hiking. There are not actual proper routes or in difficult weather conditions as well.
Okay.
No, it's better that I go there alone.
So you do it alone?
No, I mean with
friends.
similar
Okay. Similar.
friends with similar liking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it. I don't know, for the past 30 years, I'll say.
30 years.
Yeah, 25 to 30 years
childhood.
since childhood. Like
Okay.
my first trek was when I was as small as in third standard or second or third standard. So from that time, I'm
Amazing, amazing.
going on treks. Yeah, in between there was a thoda break because after college there was that hype of getting in a job, settling down, like earning money. At that time, thoda for like 5-6 years, वो नहीं हो पाया. But then I again picked it up now.
Okay.
So yeah, it was kind of a balance, I will say, now that I have the option of choosing my job and everything. Now I'm like also 10-12 years into the job sector. Now I know how it works and how then I started managing things accordingly. And yeah, now I'm back in pursuing my hobby
Amazing.
full time. Yeah.
Amazing. So like is Everest like on your list of things to do, or like hiking only?
No, Everest as a peak, no. But
Okay.
yeah, I will like to go to the Everest base
Base
camp.
camp.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Amazing. Amazing. But you'll not take a picture with you.
Definitely.
But I do go with him for herping to see snakes, which is
Okay.
not my.
But do you enjoy that?
The experience is good.
Okay.
The place where you get to see is really good because when we started going out, of course, when I got exposed to jungle safari and all that, they're very fascinating. So I like to be in that place. I like to be in that environment.
Okay.
So for that, I definitely go. And most of the times I accompany him to also see snakes. Like recently when we went to Vietnam, and 4 days were spent, 4 nights were spent in herping, where almost we used to start at 7 p.m. in the evening and we used to come back at 2 a.m. in the night.
Okay.
So we walked like 10-12 kilometers looking for snakes and all that. So the experience
Through
is
the forest, in leeches,
Yeah.
in rainy conditions. So
yeah.
yeah.
So he makes sure that I become strong,
Okay.
which I really like about all this, because
Okay.
I also get to see a different side of myself, because I haven't really explored something like this.
Right.
So yeah, so that is always in the agenda when we travel. So we balance my likings and his likings and
Very
try to be there.
But what about your own thing? Like, so in terms of traveling, so what is your ideal holiday like?
So my ideal holiday is, of course, exploring things because now Yatish is with me. That was probably not my idea before.
Okay.
That is one. Secondly, I love food. I like to explore food.
Okay.
So, hanging out in different places, different cafes. So, whenever we plan a place where we want to go, I'll immediately look for which are the best places to eat
Okay.
and what is the best to get in that place. So, that is one of the things. And of course, exploring the local life there. Like, how do people live there,
Right.
or what is their day-to-day life like? So that is also a very common conversation that we keep having. Like whenever we go out, we connect with the driver the most because they become our friends because we want to know everything about how it is in that country or in that city, even if it is in India. And so that's what I like to focus
No,
on.
you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, drivers sometimes have the best stories to tell, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the best spot to show. Once you
Yeah.
get them comfortable,
Correct.
they'll show
Yeah.
you the best spots
Correct,
away
correct.
from the tourist or crowded places,
Right. Right.
which we definitely don't want to go.
Amazing. Right. Let's move on to your professional careers now, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you can, I will start with you, Apeksha. So, what was your first job like?
So, like I mentioned, I did my master's in environmental science.
Yeah,
Now, environmental science as a whole is a, very vast field. There is wildlife, then there is waste management, water management, then there is a corporate side of it. Where we are talking about sustainability reporting and how companies are managing their environmental or social governance things. So since the beginning I was sure that I want to be in a white collar job.
Okay.
I was not a person who would go in the field, or that was, maybe I was not sure what exactly I want to do.
Okay.
But I was always sure what I don't want to do. So I chose to take a white collar job, and for my first job was in Pune. It was on environmental clearances.
Okay.
So I worked there for a couple of years, and then we got married.
Okay.
And of course, we got married very early because we knew each other for a very long time.
Right.
And our parents felt that if you know each other, then there is no point in delaying it.
Right.
And we also felt like, I mean, we want to stay together, we want to be with each other and all that. So we got married.
Okay.
That time Yatish was in Navi Mumbai.
Okay.
So I left my job from Pune and I was job hunting. Went to Navi Mumbai, did my job hunting for some more time.
Okay.
And then within 6 months, we decided to take a transfer to Delhi because Yatish had better opportunities in Delhi with the same firm. But all these for almost 1.5 years, I was job hunting.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I went to Delhi, I took a job in a green building rating body.
Okay.
So that was there.
Okay.
And I worked there for 5 years.
Okay.
And later on, of course, I wanted to explore something more. I saw there are new opportunities coming in. Financially also, I felt like now is the time probably I should look for a better paying job. Of course, Delhi, I mean, there was a huge difference between my salary in Pune and my salary in Delhi.
Okay.
But at that time, the salary in Delhi also started feeling a little less because we were staying away from the family, paying huge rent. So that's when I started exploring more. I thought of changing or shifting my field to something more upcoming.
Okay.
And that's how I found the recent job that I am in.
Okay.
And that's...
What about you, Yatish?
So for me, it was very clear that I wanted to work in the forestry sector, biodiversity sector, something to do with wildlife. Not exactly physically related to animals as such, but overall in a forest ecosystem as a. So similarly, I took my first job related to forest in Navi Mumbai, and then so basically the first point of shifting to Navi Mumbai was not as such jobs in Pune which will pay you good, or have you a good career ladder afterwards. There might be starting internship jobs in Pune, but not good jobs where it will shape your career over the years. So it was obvious that you will have to shift to some other metro city like Bangalore, Delhi, or Mumbai. So I started with Navi Mumbai, worked there for a few years, but it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to uh, dwell more inside that aspect of wildlife conservation. So it came a good opportunity in Delhi. So we immediately, like in just 6 months, we took the decision of shifting to Delhi, and yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. I got the job exactly which I had dreamt for. I could travel places like from north to south, east to west. I can say even the places where tourists are not allowed or not everybody can go. I have visited those places definitely. But then again, all cannot be good. Then came the aspects of finances, your salary. At that point in life, it did not matter to me because I was living on the quotes which we usually hear, "Jo tera dil kar raha hai, kar" types quotes. But yeah, after settling the expenses of a family, everything started coming in, and then actually I started taking the aspect of salary or finances much more seriously.
Okay.
And then I started to thinking, is this enough? Is it going to be enough for the future? How much am I saving? And those kind of thoughts came into picture. And then we decided, we stayed in Delhi for almost 6-7 years, as I said. And then finally we took a decision to shift to back to Pune. And yeah, of course, I wanted to do something in that sector, but as there are no as such opportunities in Pune, so I also developed, decided to do something corporate mix or something which will be of my interest. So now even I am working in that kind of sector, which is paying decently well as compared to the pure play wildlife sector. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So both of you mentioned that, I mean, obviously, you met and fell in love during college. So how many years has it been since the two of you know each other and have been married?
Almost 80.
Better, yeah, let her answer that.
18 years.
We know each other for 18
18
years
years.
now.
So
Yeah.
that's a long period of time. Huh?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, like we grew together. Like from teenage to like we have seen each other in 18s and then we saw each other in 20s and now we're seeing each other in 30s, which I feel is a big deal because you change in every decade, you
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
like as she said, the age barriers or age parameters, we have seen each other also grow. Initially, we were kids in college. So, kids mentality, the typical couple kids mentality. Then, after marriage, a little bit trying to take responsibility
Yeah.
mentality. And now, after so many years, like a proper, you can say, bit more matured than earlier stage. Yeah.
So if I can ask, and any one of you can choose to take this first. So, what was it that attracted you to the other person?
Oh, definitely you answer that.
So I think for me, I looked at Yatish more as a human being, like a good human being, and how he is around people than anything else. Like initial days, of course, we were in college. So, in the very first few meetings, he introduced me to his mother,
Okay.
and that sort of gave me a confidence that he is not just
Understood.
bluffing around. He is actually a serious guy. And yeah, that sort of made me feel very comfortable with him.
Okay.
And the second thing, which I jokingly say, that I got married to him more because of his mother than him, because I liked her more. So yeah, so I really
So
like
you have
that
competition at
conversation.
home.
It's okay. This competition is good to have, which is fine. I'm fine losing this competition.
And what about you, Yatish? So what was it about Apeksha that kind of attracted you?
So my life was always about outdoors. It was like always somebody say, I hear the words, let's go, and I go anywhere, whoever it was, me or my friend. So what attracted me to her was that calm moment, which was missing during that part of my life.
Okay.
So her sincerity towards college and everything towards study and that part and her calmness about things. So that really, you know, made me want to have that in my life, which I was missing during that time. So that's the major thing I will say.
Okay.
other than many other things, of course.
Okay. So I'm sure, are those things that you can share with us, or are those private?
No, absolutely nothing.
It's a long
Nothing.
list.
It's a long
It's a long
list,
list.
but yeah, I'm just telling the primary drivers of what attracted me to her.
So yeah, Apeksha is apparently very happy knowing that's a long list of
Yeah.
things.
I just know that he's too tired to tell it, or maybe there is nothing.
Yeah, like she's very much sincere about things. She thinks a lot before doing that thing, and that's usually not the case with me. Or that may be because of many things. It may be because of the group of friends I have. It's like not giving much thought before it. कि तेरे पास कितने पैसे है, तेरे पास कितने पैसे, okay, let's do it. No planning at all. We'll just used to go on that trek. That's it. We'll figure it out once we go. And that was some kind of a thrill, the adventure, the adrenaline that we wished for. So that is something. But with her, it's all come to a detailed planning when you decide a trip because of her requirements now or for my priorities now as well. So that is something that my life or the way I'm thinking started becoming more structured in a way.
So I have a diary.
Okay.
Like whenever we have a trip, I will list down things. I will decide a budget. That this is the budget we have to spend on, like this much only. And then if there is a place which is costing us but is going to be a lifetime experience, then we will choose that, but then we will cut short on two things. So I do that. And I like making checklists, and I like writing, and I like to have that clarity. So yeah, I mean,
Amazing. Right. So, since the two of you have known each other for 18 years, and I think started off with college, so I think there would be some friends that you'll be still having
Yeah.
from colleges, etc.
Yeah.
And otherwise, also over the years, I mean, you would have built your network of friends, etc.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I were to ask them, I mean, what would they say is your superpower as a couple?
Oh my god.
We will
mean-
probably have to go back and ask.
Yeah.
But
Looking at most, I think I can say that we're still together. That's the first superpower.
that is absolutely
Nowadays,
true.
can say that's the first superpower that we are still together. But yeah, that also came after many things.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody have their own challenges and barriers, but yeah, we did stick to each other in tough times and in good times as well. But I think one thing that I keep hearing from my friends is that like you now know that he likes to travel a lot.
Right.
And he has his own plans sometimes, which for some is a problem. Like, how is Yatish always traveling, and how do you not say anything about it? So I think this thing that we have our individual lives. Other than that, also, I think we have developed this understanding that you can have an individual life, and then you can also have a life as a couple,
Yeah.
which has come to us after. I'm not saying all this has not happened in a day.
Yeah. Sure.
This is, we have evolved like this. There was a time when we were staying in Delhi, just two of us. There were times when Yatish was on travel, I was staying alone. I did not have my family, I did not have my friends. I have seen that part also, and now I see this part also, where I have everybody with me right now in Pune.
Okay.
And so I value both. I know it is a blessing to have a solitude, and it is also a blessing to have people around you.
Right.
So yeah, I think giving that space is a I think privilege that we
Yeah,
have
definitely. I mean, I always see a couple as, a part of Venn diagram. Like there are two circles, but you are together only in the middle part where both circles unite. You are still individuals and you still have your own part of area of your circle to
Right,
do
right.
things. You cannot lose that when you are together. So it's never about your wife giving you permission to go with your friends. It can never happen like that.
Right.
So, and that is something we really, put in our marriage actually to be like that. Yeah, your individual passion, your hobbies should always stay that. Whenever I feel I need to go do that, it shouldn't happen that she always gets upset about that. ये अभी जाके आओ फिर से क्यों जा रहे हो? It cannot happen like that.
because
Yeah.
if he doesn't go there, he's not going to be happy with me either. So
Right.
it's rather that you go have fun, the next weekend we will go somewhere, or we can plan something together. So
Yeah,
I
so
think,
there are
yeah.
options with him.
So
It was
yeah.
amazing. I mean, what you managed to achieve and accomplish as a couple, right? I think that what you're referring to is basically the space, the individual
Yeah.
spaces, right?
Yeah.
And it is amazing, amazing. So congratulations on
Thank you.
18 years of togetherness and many more
Absolutely.
that lie ahead. Thank you, Apeksha. Thank you, Yatish. It almost feels now I know you probably as probably not your closest friend, but I really understand you a bit better now. What makes you tick, right? So thank you for sharing all that with me, right? Let's drive a bit deeper now. Uh, I always say this that all of us have a very unique relationship with money, right? And which is shaped by our growing up years. So consciously and subconsciously, based on what we've seen our parents do, right? The actions that they have taken, things that they have spoken, our surroundings, etc. That in a way feeds into our subconscious as well, and it influences the way we go about making decisions in life around money, finances, etc. And it stays with us even later in life, right? I would love to know from the both of you, and you can choose who wants to go first. In terms of when you look back, right, to your growing up years, what is the earliest memory about money that you can think back? Something that you noticed your parents do, anything, yeah.
So for me, of course, since the childhood, or since the time I could manage money, whenever I asked for 200, I always got 300 or
Okay.
500. So that also came from the fact that my parents, or my dad was the sole bread earner, I would say. My mom is a homemaker. So that always came from his childhood, maybe, when my grandfather was a farmer.
Okay.
So my dad or my mom always, like every parent wants that their child should get enough of everything. They should never feel that they have less money, or that came from that part, I would say. So there was, of course, they gave us the best education, best food, best place to live. Everything was good, but at the same time, we saw the struggle. Like I said, my dad was never around us.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had to be where he was transferred. My mom was taking care of growing up kids and growing old in-laws. She was having her own struggle to do that all by herself. So we always saw how the money is coming. So we always knew the value of money. But at the same time, it was never that, you got any less of it. So, yeah, I've seen the struggle that my parents have done, but I also value money from that perspective, that it takes a lot to earn money. It is not an easy thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So based on that, I mean, if you were to think about it, what is, let's say, one lesson from that you use in your life today? What the thought process? Like you said, you plan a lot. You have
Yeah.
this diary wherein you budget, right?
Yeah, I have seen my dad doing this.
Okay.
In his initial days, maybe after he got settled in life, probably he stopped doing it, I
Okay.
guess. But he had a diary where he wrote every little expense that was done. Daily diary of expenses. He used to maintain that. Uh, Another thing is that he always prioritized safety and comfort over money, which I think has come in me. And luckily, I have a partner who thinks the same way. It
Oh,
is very difficult to have
right,
that.
right.
And in Yatish's family, only Yatish is like that. His family is not that way. So to have this was really a blessing, because I don't see fighting over a thing like यहाँ पे cab से नहीं जाना, ये महंगा पड़ रहा है. No, if going by cab is the safest option, we are taking a cab.
Right.
So that is one thing that I follow. Sometimes you have to, I think I would, in brief, I would call it weighing options.
Right.
Weigh your options. If this is more comfortable, maybe costing more money, but if spending less is going to put you in another trouble, don't go there.
Right.
So I think this is what I learned from my father. I think I still follow it, and I can still follow it with my partner. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. What about you, Yatish?
So exactly as she said that if she asked for 200 rupees, she used to get 300. So when I used to ask for 200 rupees, I used to get 20. So, so that is how it started. So yeah, so throughout it was like, all my things what I have to do, I had to adjust that in a particular budget which I used to get. So it was never like कि बट वहां जाने के लिए इतना खर्चा होगा. No, this is it. You plan how you want it.
Yeah, these are very different styles of
Yeah.
parenting. It's
Yeah.
not that your parents don't have money.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
parents
yeah.
have money.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But yeah, somehow they were also trained in their mind by their parents, or
Absolutely.
during that time that was the culture. I don't know.
Right.
There could be many reasons, but yeah, this is something which I have grown in money wise. So it was always in my mind. No, yeah, I need money. I need money for this. I need money for that. To do the same thing in a good way. Like for example, now maybe I will when I go on a trek or somewhere, I may not always choose the $500 room. I will go for a 2000 ka room as well. So that's not because I have money now I can spend, because that is something which was missing, and that's exactly the comfort aspect
Right.
which now I can do. So yeah, earlier it was always like ki, no, I had to manage all my passion, hobby, everything in that particular amount of money which was given to me. So that made the urge, to divert from that mentality and try to get more out of it. How I can, earn more and but still spend cautiously and in a proper way. So that is something I try to do even now.
Okay.
So yeah, now that I am earning on my own, I do have that in my mind that okay, I cannot, you know, spend my money in a non-useful way. Of course, I need to be restrictive and have boundaries in spending in some of the aspect. But I can't also be still in that 20 rupees ka mentality where I have to adjust everything in those 20 rupees.
Right.
So yeah, so this is now where I have come from that stage.
Right. So I think the common message that I'm getting from both of you is that, in spite of the slightly different backgrounds that both of you have come from, I mean, as on date, the way you look at money as a couple is basically using it as a means to live a comfortable life.
Yes.
And you basically make conscious choices on how you want to spend the money, right? You weigh
Absolutely.
the options. So, not being miser,
Yeah.
at the same time, not being wasteful about it. Right?
Yes.
Would that be a
Correct.
fair summation of?
Absolutely.
Perfect, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Right. So while today both of you are on the same page when it comes to money, was, I mean, given your long association of 18 years, was there at any point of time that you felt or realized that the beliefs or values around money is different? कि अगर मैं ऐसे सोचता हूँ, probably she has a slightly different take. Anything comes to your mind?
So I think initially, of course, I mean, 18 years of knowing together, but since we started earning,
Yeah.
and I think I would call it since our marriage, so maybe 9 years now.
Right.
So I think initially, no, because like I said, for the first 1.5 years, I was not earning.
Yeah.
And Yatish was, taking care of everything. But even then, I think I don't think we ever fought over money or we had different ideas about it, because I think we sit, we discuss.
Okay.
If somebody is not trying to understand, like my habit is to write pros and cons.
अच्छा.
ये करना है तो इसके ये pros है. Then the person sitting in front of you also understands. So initially probably we did not have that, but yeah, because Yatish was taking care of most of the expenses. Almost 40% of his salary was going into rent at that time, because we had taken that conscious choice of spending on rent and living in a good area. Then, because that confidence we always had that I will get a job, we will have money will come.
Right.
But we have to be in a safe place. So I think initially we did not really have that. If
Yeah, never as such.
Okay.
And not also that we didn't plan or anything. It was very obvious that we are not married and you still don't
Yeah.
have a, and I have to
We
take
were
care of
also
it. It was
learning, I
like
think.
that it was as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, normally, what happens is that when you get married, and so it's a different thing when you are seeing someone, right? And slightly different when you start staying with someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I think the dynamics change a lot, and you get
Yeah.
to learn a lot more about the other person, right?
Yeah.
And the smallest of habits can irk you, or which it can go in either direction.
Yeah.
And so that's where probably when you are spending so much time together, right? So we tend to discover things. So that was my intention of asking you that. Did you ever feel that, right? But I mean, from the sense that I'm getting from you is that no, largely, I mean, both of you were majorly aligned only in
Yeah.
terms of how you viewed money.
And since we earlier he was doing all the expenses, he was taking care of all the expenses. When I got a job, we just discussed that okay, we are anyway spending his money, his salary. Let's save mine. That was one thing that happened.
Right.
Then for next 5-6 years till the time we were in Delhi actually, we were spending his salary and we were saving mine. So anything big purchase, any big trip, or for that matter, just coming to Pune to our hometown at that time, it used to be done from my account and the regular expenses were done by him. So there also I think we had that clarity. So and we both like I said, we both were learning, so we did not really get into that. We were experimenting maybe, and that sort of felt right at that
Yeah,
time.
definitely. So at that time, it was like during the start key. Now we are spending my entire salary on the expenses. Let's save your entire salary. So it will be double profit kind of thing rather than sharing those expenses. Let's save your entire salary.
So, Peksha and Yatish, so I'm very curious to know, right? Like normally when there are arranged marriages, I mean, so families tend to do a lot of investigation, and आजकल तो investigative agencies का trend हो गया, right? But also I think finance is a very important aspect of our lives, right? And whether we choose to accept it or not, money plays a very important role, even if when whichever decision that we're taking,
Yeah.
which might not be apparently about money, but has a monetary linkage to it, right? And when you are getting married or choosing to get married and trying to spend the next 30, 40, 50 years of your life together, right? I'm really curious to know that, I mean, did you guys have consciously a conversation that, how regarding money, right? That how you're going to deal with money, I mean, as you progress along the life. So did you have those conversations prior to deciding to get married?
So I think before getting into that, I just want to tell you that we always knew that money is a very important part. And like I told you that Yatish introduced me to his mother within 3 days.
Yeah.
I introduced him to my parents when he got a job.
Okay.
When I knew him thoroughly, I knew him for 8 years at that time. Of course, my parents knew that probably there is someone. But my parents are also not people who would come and ask, "Ki batao kaun hai ye." They never did that. And I was very sure that when he or whoever my partner is, if he gets introduced to my father, and the question if he asks the question कि क्या करता है लड़का, that is the first thing
Absolutely.
you usually ask,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So I didn't wanted him to introduce when we were in college, क्योंकि तब तो हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे. So when he got his first job, when he completed his probation, he got what you call as permanent.
Yeah.
That's when I told my father.
Okay.
So we always knew money is an important part. I always knew what my parents think of, me, my future, and how they want my future to be. Of course, I didn't get married through an arranged marriage setup.
Yeah.
But I always knew that they have some priorities for me, for my better life. And this was one of them.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that was one thing. So initially, of course, when we got married, we even before that we never spoke about money. But I remember one thing that Yatish told me when we were dating, that I might not take you to fancy restaurants and fancy places, but I will definitely keep you happy. And that was, I think, the very in fact, it must be second or third day of our dating. And he told me this. And at that time, of course, I felt like if you're telling me openly, that is a very important thing.
Right.
And I knew that he has caliber. He has capacity to become something which probably is not today.
Right.
So that I always knew. So we never discussed money. initially before getting married,
Right.
for sure. But my father did tell me one thing, that if I would have, if you were to get married through an arranged marriage setup, I would have made sure that, there is X amount of money or X amount of setup that you're getting married into. Now that you have chosen this, you have to make, you have to make up your mind that you have to work equally hard with your partner
Right.
to sort of achieve the lifestyle that probably I have given you, or which you want to have in
Right.
future. You have to work equally hard. So this reality check he gave me before I got married,
Right.
and we also discussed it. Like, we always knew that we have to work hard for it.
Right.
There is no wealth of, generational wealth is not coming from the first day. You have to work hard. You have to have you have to make your own life. So
Got
that
it.
clarity we always had.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to add
Exactly.
question?
So definitely we did not have that discussion because after marriage it was like, wow, we are finally together. So now let's enjoy. This is what we had
Yeah.
dreamed. Ki
Right.
now jo bhi hai, money with us. Let's enjoy with it, but of course in a limit, not like spend all your money. But yeah, let's enjoy life together now. So yeah, definitely. So that maturity or that aspect or that thought wasn't there during that time, and then but eventually it started building. That no, that things also started changing, and then eventually that thought came into picture. That no, now money has to be one of the priority or a point of thinking we need to discuss about money now. How we can improve our financial conditions. Not that it was bad, but no, it started becoming now one of the priorities
Right.
eventually. Yeah.
So you probably had this conversation probably after marriage.
After
Yeah.
marriage.
After
Yes.
marriage,
Yes,
right,
yes.
right,
Yeah,
right. So what were, like, let's say, if you can think back, I mean, to, let's say, one of the initial conversations that you had after marriage, right? Because obviously after the honeymoon is over, so as to speak, right?
Yeah.
And when reality sets
Reality
in,
is
so then you start, I mean, thinking about these things as well. So what were some of the, let's say, the markers or some things that you said, okay, this is how we are going to plan our way forward in terms of the money? You mentioned that, I mean, for the first 1.5 years, you're not working, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. So that became a very important aspect. That see, even my job was, as I said, in the wildlife sector. It was in a NGO kind of setup.
right.
So the salary was not as equivalent to an IT company or that. So it was much lower. But it was definitely decent that I could take care of two people at that time
Okay, okay.
with with good lifestyle and not having to compromise on
Yeah.
anything as in the current lifestyle setup. So it was decent, but still it may not be enough in the future. The way inflation is happening about thing, it was not very productive to come to continue with one person earning basis. It had to be in a city like Delhi, Mumbai, or anywhere. You cannot survive on just one person earning that much and expect to have the similar lifestyle which you want to continue uh, when you were youth, or and you want that something. So it was definitely we had to do something, and the only thing which was good and productive was to get her a job, or she getting a job which she likes and will make decent amount of salary, which
Right.
will be very much helpful. And then the aspects came into picture. She got a job, her money flow started, and then the aspects of saving, spending, all those things then came into picture, and where we could actually think about it.
Okay, okay. So so how do you go about actually on a practical basis managing it, right? I mean, are there roles that you've assigned within ourselves that, okay, she is the finance manager and you are the experience manager, so you take care of all the experience side of things.
I think it was not that, but we just divided it. Like initially, when, like, because we started with his salary first. Initially, rent was something that he was looking at.
Okay,
I was paying the utilities, whatever chota mota kharcha.
right.
Then, like, we the roles changed,
Right.
but the we just decided कि किसके account से जाएगा. But otherwise, whatever the decisions were always taken by the both of us. ऐसा
Okay.
कभी नहीं था कि I know better, I will decide what
Okay.
we should do. So, but we did decide कि कौन से type का खर्चा करेगा.
Okay.
So that is something that we decided.
Okay,
early.
so collaboratively is what
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
because there. I mean, when there is talk and there's literature about couples finance, there are books around couples finance. So there's this whole concept of yours, mine, and ours, right? In terms of
Yes.
having different bank accounts,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So what is the individual accounts is probably you are
Yeah.
free to use it the way you like, right?
Yeah.
And whatever is ours is basically it goes into
joint account.
joint
Yeah.
account, and that kind of takes care of expenses. So do you also have something similar in place, or how does it work?
We don't have joint account.
Okay.
It works similarly, I
Okay.
would say,
Okay.
but in from our own accounts.
Okay.
So, like I said, we even now we do our finances collaboratively. But now I take care of the rent. He takes care of the utilities.
Okay.
Early on, I think when I was saving, of course it is our saving.
Right.
I'm not saying that it is my saving, but I could manage to build a certain portfolio,
Right.
whereas he did not,
Okay.
which at one point I felt is wrong. Fine, we are a couple, we are together, it is ours. But I feel that you should be secure and strong as an individual and as a couple. So when we realized this, we started, he also started his savings, investments, and then the roles reversed. I pay the rent, he takes
Okay.
care of the utilities. Utilities are little less,
Okay.
so he can invest more. Whereas now I have built a decent portfolio. Now I want to take care of bigger expense, which is probably rent right now
Right, right.
in Pune. So that's how we managed that.
Yeah, so that's the balance we could come at. Now that her portfolio is at a good state, maybe it's time now I should start building my portfolio. Because as she said, individual security, that feeling of that you are financially secure
Right.
as an individual is
Right.
very important.
Correct.
At the back of the mind you are very clear that नहीं नहीं ये इसका
हाँ,
है, वो मेरा
हमारा-
ही है, या मेरा है, या वो इसका है.
ऐसा
That is
नहीं होता, but हाँ, because you know what, I've also I know people, some of our friends, relatives, where the husband was taking care of the money, wife was earning, but husband is taking care of the entire money. Then they got divorced. She has left nothing with her. Everything is with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Then I also know someone, the husband was taking care of everything. She's not earning, and then he died accidentally. And she was unaware कि पैसा कहाँ है,
True.
investments कहाँ जा रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है. So I feel that is very scary, to be honest.
Right.
So I think that we should have, see, when I say collaboratively, it's not always 50-50.
Right.
हर ट्रिप में 50-50 पैसा नहीं जाता. कभी 70-30 होता है, कभी 60-40 होता है. That is okay.
That is all right. Yeah.
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 But then building your savings is extremely important as an individual, I
Right.
think. So that is where we have come at now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and keeping all things aside, there should always be funds individually, which you as a person need to spend on.
Yeah, because you don't need that interference always.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That नहीं ये पैसे को हाथ नहीं लगाना, ये हमारा उधर जाने का पैसा है. नहीं, if you want to spend something for your own own things, you should not feel the need to ask me for it.
Correct.
You are free
That's
to
your
use
fun
it.
fund.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
because now she's the spender and
Yeah,
I'm the saver
yeah,
doesn't mean that I cannot spend. And I
Yeah.
need to ask her if I want to
Yeah.
spend
Correct.
something.
Correct.
So,
So that freedom,
yeah,
basically.
individual freedom, that has to stay. That's the main point. Like, it can be small things also. It doesn't have to be big things.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, she wants to buy clothes or I want to do my own things. It
Correct.
cannot be कि if I want to go on a trip कि मुझे इतना मेरा खर्चा आएगा. It's okay ना इतना खर्च. नहीं,
Yeah,
I think about it.
You
I
make
can-
your own budget for
Understand.
yourself.
Yeah. True. But you raised two very important points, right? One was about women not taking an active part, right,
Yeah.
in managing the finances, and also letting it go and not having investment in their name. So based on whatever little work that I have done on the subject, I found that it all stems from a very patriarchal kind of a mindset, right?
Right.
Wherein I don't know, for some reason, I mean, women, even though are very, very successful, sometimes more successful than men
Yeah.
in professional careers and otherwise, but somehow when it comes to money, they tend to take a back seat, right? As a woman, why do you think that is the case?
I think this is what we have seen in our families. So mother takes care of the house and father takes care of the money. This has been the case almost in all the houses, I think, a generation before us. And after a certain stage, that changed, the roles changed.
Right.
Women also started getting into jobs, but the mindset of who spends money has not changed.
Correct.
It is always the man who spends money. It is always a man who takes care of, financial planning, so to say. So that is where I think it goes wrong. Women are also a little reluctant. So am I actually, to get into कि कहाँ invest करना है क्या. Sometimes you feel you don't understand well. Sometimes you feel you have less time because you have other things also to look at. For men, maybe it's their job and maybe spend some time at home, but women are taking care of a lot of other things.
Right.
The children, the in-laws, घर में क्या खाना बनना है, क्या करना है, everything. In that, probably they don't have time for this.
Okay.
Or they don't want to have time for this. They feel कि कर लेंगे, मुझे क्यों इसमें देखना है अब और. So that is second part which I feel. But very fortunately now you have people who can guide you.
Correct.
So for me also, I was also in this stage. Of course, I was never someone who would say कि Yatish, you look into this. I wanted to get into this from the very beginning, but I did not have time initially. But then I started working with Pine Fortune Investments
Right.
with Nisha Patodia, and she has been our consultant for a very long time now.
Nice.
And something that I can't do, she helps me doing it.
Okay.
But it's not something that I am doing, I'm asking Yatish to do for me.
Right.
It is under my name.
Right. Right.
I am making those decisions. I am making those transactions. She's just helping me do that, which I can't do in my own time.
Right.
So I think these are the two things where women, fall short and can take help now, I think.
And amazing. I mean, thank you for pointing that out. And I think the message that I am taking away is that probably you have to take an active interest into it.
Yeah.
But given your and women are known to be multitaskers and better multitaskers at that, right? So maybe you already have too much on your plate, so it tends to get relegated to the background. But from a point of view of security, it becomes extremely important that you build assets in your name,
Absolutely.
right? To avoid the kind of situation that you mentioned, and also be aware, right? And if it's too much for you to handle on your own, do hire an expert.
Exactly.
Have an advisor to do it for you.
Yeah.
But definitely, don't ignore it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a message to take away from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. You want to add anything to that, Yatish?
No, definitely now women should be part of your financial planning. That's you cannot take that away.
Yeah.
I don't know about what people think, but at least for personally me, I think if a woman or your partner, for that matter, if she is contributing, it will definitely help you achieve your couple goal as well as your individual goals as well. Both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it is true. I definitely believe that women do have financial clarity more, and the vision, not a long-term vision, maybe short-term vision as well on how that particular thing can be achieved. So yeah, definitely it really helps in that aspects.
Yeah. Just to add to your point, right? I mean, so there's some research. I don't know how authentic it is, but these kind of things tend to surface around Women's Day and so on. So that women tend to be better fund managers than men, and funds that are managed by women have done better than funds managed by men, right? So that's probably an interesting take on that, right?
Maybe the research was done by a woman.
Right. So I think the sense that I'm getting is that both of you would have a very clear picture of your overall financial situation in terms of where do you stand financially.
Yeah. Now.
Now.
I'll say at this stage.
At
Yeah.
this stage.
Right. So I'm sure. It's not always harmonious, right? So there would be disagreements along the way. So let's say when there are disagreements about or there are conflicting priorities, how do the two of you navigate it?
Yeah, so basically, there haven't been many situations in our life where we are on a disagreement. See, basically, it comes with two big things which happen, which one I want to do, secondly, she wants to do a other thing. So that has not happened so much, but things where it can happen mainly is travel. basically with the
With
most
us.
common thing, yeah, which we do.
Yeah.
As I said, that I want to spend most of our budget on wildlife related travel, and she wants to spend most of our budget on the cultural aspect of that travel. So this is something where we usually do get in a conflict most of the time.
Okay.
So yeah, so something, so that we have to think. And so that is so that part is not something which is that is expensive, so that's why we have to omit it. It cannot be from that aspect. So that is one point. The other point is, what is your expense you are planning to do, the big expense you are planning to do during that year or that part of your life. For example, if you want to buy a vehicle, or do you want to buy a house, if these are the major spendings you are thinking during that time, then you definitely have to plan accordingly. So there cannot be you cannot get into agreement during that time. अरे नहीं अभी तो ये नहीं, अब ये कर लेते हैं, मुझे ये करना है कि अभी इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट है. And a good example of that I will ask Apeksha to give is about the car.
Yeah, so I think it's again, we had different opinions where
Yeah.
I feel sometimes that we should have a car. You know, mostly on occasions where I want to dress nicely
Ah.
and go, I don't want to take a cab. But, and Yatish felt that it's a liability because right now we work in a hybrid mode. Our work is in hybrid mode. We don't go anywhere every day. Sometimes we have to go once or twice a week to office, and that can be managed by a cab. We live in Pune, so everything where we stay right now, my parents' place is 20 minutes from there.
Okay.
My in-laws' place is 10 minutes from there.
Okay.
Can be managed by a two-wheeler. So now this was one conflict that we had. But yeah, we did sit down and we discussed. It's a liability. It's an expense that you will have every year, but is probably not going to help you as such. We also discussed with Nisha, and of course, now car is not a need. It's a luxury.
Right.
So yeah, with that, I also asked my father, what do you think if we should buy a car? He said, no, you first buy a house, then buy a car.
Okay.
So yeah, so such things, there are difference of opinions, but I would say that every time we have had that, we have sat down and we have listed things, why it is important and why it is not. And one of a person who is not convinced usually gets convinced with the justifications.
Yeah. I mean, is really car necessary? Just think. Is it drivable now? Is Pune drivable anymore? Definitely
I think
no.
most of the cities that we live in are now not
Yeah.
drivable.
Not, yeah. But maybe, yeah, see, it's not that you're not going to have it ever. Maybe now is not right time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Great. Let's move on. Fine. We've discussed your past. We've discussed your present. How do you manage money on a ongoing basis as a couple? And thank you for sharing so openly and frankly about that. Moving forward, in terms of when we look forward, in terms of your dreams and aspirations. So, if I could ask you that what is that one financial goal that the both of you are the most excited about, and you can either give it jointly or individually.
Maybe getting financially free as early as possible.
Yeah, that's the dream. See, now it's not like the time when our parents used to work.
Right.
Now there are no pensions. That the kind of financial security they used to have during that time. We do have kind of PPF, personal provident funds, but I don't know if they are equally as good as the
Pension.
pension which the government employees now get. So this is one kind of a scary thing which you always look in the future. And to not make it scary, this is something now we have the capability and we can start thinking about it from now onwards, ki how we can be financial free. It's a fact that we can only do job until we are, I don't know, 50 now or 60 whatever, but still, so this is something we have to look at. And when you think about at that age, what are your dreams, what have you dreamt of? Do you still dream of living here in the city and doing nothing, or you want to now follow your passion more full time, which you are doing? So when you think of that, many things come to your mind, and to do that, definitely you need a stream of revenue, a constant stream of revenue, even after retirement.
Right.
So that is something which we are planning about and discussing about regularly, and this is something which will give us a sense of joy. Like, yeah, we have done it at the end of the day if we really reach that point.
In a way, you partially, answered my next question, right? And I was going to ask you, and maybe I'm sure you can start off this time. That if, let's say, money were not an object, right? And let's say within the next 1 year, I mean, your advisor tells you that you are financially free, right? And based on whatever projections, how would you change your life? How would that change? What is the first thing that you guys are doing in the first month or the first year of being financially free?
I think we will just travel.
Okay. So partially you guys are the reason why airfares are going up.
The
Okay.
travel can be as small as a weekend
Yeah,
getaway
yeah.
to anything. I mean, frankly, yeah, that really brings us joy. Exploring
Understand.
things, it does. So, yeah, if I'm financially free, I would like to spend on comfort and peace of mind, which is very important.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You want to add to whatever you said, Yatish? So imagine for a moment, just close your eyes and just think that, okay, you have all the money that you need. Right?
Definitely, my scenery was always to have a good house near the woods, in the
Okay.
forest, around the forest, and yeah, so away from people,
With Apeksha or
away
without
from
Apeksha?
with Apeksha, of course. It depends.
Depends on me.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of lifestyle, away from people, away from everything, and you are just enjoying that part of life, sipping on some nice alcohol and.
Okay. Great, great. No, anything you guys want to add before we move forward?
No, yeah. So this is ultimately our dream. Like
Okay.
when we close our set, this is where we want to go, or this will give us ultimate happiness.
Right.
So this is something we want to achieve even at that time. So for that, we need to start planning now. First, we need to check its feasibility, of course, if it is achievable or not. How
But you
much
can
time
always
we'll
have
have to
dreams.
work.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is no.
absolutely. Absolutely. True.
That how much we'll still have to work. There's still milestone we want to, the present milestone which we still want to achieve. So yeah, it's a continuous process.
Right, right, right. So there's this saying, that life happens when you're busy making other plans, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
we've covered a lot of ground. We've spoken about a lot of your journey, your lives together. But unfortunately, life is not linear. It follows its own path, right?
True.
And obviously, we always want to plan for good moments and happy moments. But there are at times, unfortunate things can also happen. Or life does not really work out as per plan.
Right.
Both of you are actively involved in our professional careers, right? And what I've also seen in my experience is that at times there are some very difficult decisions to make. So let's say one of the partners gets a very lucrative opportunity, maybe in a different city or maybe even outside India, right? And the other person may not be having that amount of flexibility to move. So how can couples actually navigate this kind of a situation, or have you yourself also gone through something similar in
Yeah,
your
we
lives?
have gone through it couple of
Okay.
times.
Okay.
And both have experienced the other side. So when after marriage I moved from here, of course, I mean, retrospectively I feel probably I shouldn't have left my job in Pune.
Okay.
I should have still continued it,
Okay.
found a job in Delhi or Navi Mumbai, and then I should have moved.
Okay.
ये मुझे अब लगता है. But that time, of course, it was obvious that if your husband has moved to a different city, you have to move to the other city.
Right.
So that is what I did. Initially, like I said, I mean, I did feel that I'm not having a job. I went into a very different mode at that time. So that is one time when I was in a position where I had to leave my job and move to a different city. The second time, I found a job in Pune first.
Okay.
And it was really a very good deal for me. Firstly, having a job in Pune. Secondly, my parents are here. Everything is good, but
Yeah.
Yatish is not going to be here. That was one thing.
Okay.
But we took that decision that, okay, you move to Pune and we will figure out.
Okay.
So almost for a year, Yatish was in Delhi and I
Okay.
was in Pune.
Okay.
And we figured out, like, I took permission from my office that first few weeks I will work from Delhi. They were okay with it. And Yatish also took permission from his office. A few weeks he used to work in
Okay.
in Pune. So we did that for quite some time actually. Alternate month we used to do up down from Pune and Delhi. But yeah, eventually we felt like there's no point in doing this. You know, either you move here or I leave that and move with you again.
Right.
But I think we figured out. He took a transfer, he came here, and then, eventually we figured it out.
Right.
But that flexibility or that thing of you also follow your passion or you also follow your dreams was very important.
Right.
Because it was very easy when I left my job. Nobody questioned. But when I came here, everybody questioned, यार यतीश अकेला है वहाँ पे. Because yeah, he was all by himself. कोई नहीं था. I mean, because it was just two of us. यहाँ I had my entire family with me.
Right.
But everybody was having a question mark, like यतीश को अकेला छोड़ के कैसे आ गई. So that was always there. But I think we still managed. But I know many couples, in the US, they stay in different cities, work, meet for vacation. So now people do that also.
So, recently I was reading an article which I think had come in Mint or somewhere about this trend of DINKs, double income, no kids, right? And during the course of our conversations earlier, I got to know that both of you have also taken this conscious decision of not having a child. So, I would love to hear from you and understand, what was the whole thought process which went into deciding and making that decision. How did your families react to it, and so on?
So I would say, I won't call it as a trend. Yeah, because a lot of people are now taking that or making that choice. It now sounds as a trend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a conscious decision. And it did not happen on one single day. Or for me, it was an evolved thought. My conditioning was not like this. Of course, in Indian families, we have seen that you have to follow a set rule, a guideline, like 25 में शादी, 28 में पहला बच्चा, 30 में दूसरा बच्चा, and then live for those kids. उनका एजुकेशन, जब तक वो बड़े होते हैं, उनकी शादी, then you are completely in your kids. So we have seen this. Initially, when we moved to Delhi, it was not logistically possible, I would say. The weather is very harsh. There's a lot of pollution. And I had made up my mind that I don't want to raise a child in this environment. It is not possible for my parents also to come down there and live with the harsh heat and cold to support, because it was just two of us. So definitely we would need support. So initially it was not logistically possible, and eventually we started enjoying each other's company. We never felt that void, or we never felt, because it's usually said that बच्चा होने के बाद फैमिली कंप्लीट हो जाती है. हमें कभी इनकम्प्लीट ही लगी नहीं.
Okay.
So that's when we started discussing about it. In the meantime, our friends who were still in Pune were following the regular life where they plan to have a kid, 2 kids sometimes. We saw their lives also. We saw them also, how they evolved. And then we discussed about it. It did not come from a financial burden. But yes, it did help in financial planning. There is one component less in your planning, basically. So initially, we were also discussing. Sometimes I did question. Sometimes I also felt कि मुझे आगे जाके लगा तो what if I regret later? I had those thoughts. But I think those thoughts or those questions were cleared when we both started talking about it openly. And at one point we felt that okay, this is it. And it was also very recently, 2-3 years back, when we moved to Pune. After moving to Pune, we did discuss that let's take one more year to think. Maybe now that you are back to home, you have your parents, you have your support, maybe you would feel that okay, chalega. You don't have to stay with us, and you don't have to go in that zone where, once you start staying with your in-laws, no matter what you do, it sometimes becomes
Yeah.
difficult. And she knows that. So she was very open to our idea of not having a child. And also I feel that child free is something that society is still not very
Yeah,
okay
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah.
This concept of childless, or a couple who have children settled in the US or abroad, and parents living here, is still okay. Parents are living on their own. They are managing their own expenses. Maybe, yeah, sure, kids are sending money, but they're still on their own. Childless people were looked at very differently.
Right.
But this part that you have taken this decision on your own, you are child free by your choice, is still something that people look at with a question mark, like how.
Yeah.
With childless or with people having child abroad, they can still give some sympathy. अरे रे, मतलब अच्छा नहीं हुआ, अभी आपको अकेले ही रहना पड़ रहा है. But for such things, it is still not very open, I would say. When I informed my father and my mother, they were also okay with it. Not in the first when I told him, but told them. But overall, they felt like your happiness is important.
Right.
If you are going to be happy after this decision, we are happy for you. So yeah, overall, I think it also came from a lot of support from the family,
yeah,
because it is not very easy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Family support would obviously have
Yeah,
made
because
probably the difference as well, right?
Absolutely, because a burden that नहीं उनको दादा दादी बनना है,
हाँ.
या उनको पोता पोती चाहिए, this is a very different kind of burden. I mean,
Absolutely.
which thankfully our parents never gave us. It was with the family support we could take that decision, and we are happy with the decision, such that we can speak about it openly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are proud about it, especially.
Yeah. It's not something to feel guilty about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one should be proud.
Absolutely,
like you're
absolutely, why not?
enjoying more than a couple which has a kid, so it's something to be
And
good
absolutely,
about.
I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, whatever
Of
your
course, of
priorities are,
course.
what matters most to you. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to follow a template that's been set by someone else,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah,
So yeah, definitely. At least I feel very happy about this decision now. And see, it was earlier कि बच्चा बड़ा होके he'll take care of you. I don't think that works now anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. But then now, what is the reason? So you people need to think from actual reality on how things are moving, how things are happening. Not just financial is definitely the most important aspect of it, but there are a lot of things which one needs to think about. That why really do you want to have a kid? One of the reason can be that the feeling of becoming a parent.
right.
But then, okay, for that one feeling, is it really worth it? I mean, you fine. Ultimately, I don't know if you really are, or now you're pretend ki I am happy now with the kid also or something, because everyone can see what you're going through.
Yeah.
Society is always destined to see someone who does not fit in their
Absolutely.
map as a different person, or he's doing something wrong. So let them think. And we are happy with what we are doing. You're happy with what you're doing. So good. At your
Yeah.
end.
So
Well,
my
yeah.
brother, interestingly, after I got married, he just told me one thing. If you want to become a mother, only then you have a kid. If you want to have a child, don't have it.
Very nicely put.
Because otherwise you will always think about everything as a sacrifice too.
Right.
So because I think at the end of the day, you need, like, our parents are not dependent on us financially. They're financially secure. They have their own health insurance and everything. They are doing great. Eventually all parents, I mean our generation, is also going to be like that.
Correct.
Kids, you always want to have your kid to have the best education. You will send him abroad, he will never come back, maybe. You never know. So even now, we are not staying with our family every day.
Yeah.
We are there, of course, but eventually there would be a community. I feel of people who don't have kids. I have many friends now,
Right. Right.
and things would be different. Yeah, there is that fear of ending up alone sometimes, but I think that is very subjective. You can still have a lot of things to do,
Got it.
and yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that in such detail. And I think what comes across very strongly is the consistently across all that you guys have been speaking about is the conscious thought, the thought process, the communication around it, trying to see both sides of the coin, right? And then making, spending some time with the thought and the decision, and then finally making up a mind. I think that's very very important, right? So great. I think thank you once again for sharing all of this. We've covered a lot of ground. We've spoken about a lot of topics that could be very personal and intimate to you, but you've been very courageous and brave to kind of come out openly about that. So
Absolutely.
I'll stop with the bombarding of all these heavy questions, and now we'll switch on to playing something fun. We'll do a quick rapid fire Karan Johar style.
Oh.
Yeah, and we'll see who scores how much.
And will we get a
Hamper?
hamper at the end? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So don't know about the hamper yet, but yeah. So yeah, Apeksha. So let's start with you, and let's try to make it very quick. Okay. If you won rupees 50,000 tomorrow and could choose to do anything with it, what is the first thing you would spend it on?
Travel.
Okay. What is the one thing you would never spend money on, no matter how much money you had?
Something fancy, which something materialistic.
Okay.
I won't do that. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather save for a dream home or spend on amazing travel experiences?
Travel experiences.
What is your biggest money fear?
That I will not have money in emergency, or I don't want to be in a position where I don't have money in my bank immediately. Like,
Okay. If you could hire someone to take one task off your plate, what would that be? I know why Yatish is laughing.
to maybe do the routine
Okay.
tasks.
So I'm very sure you're going to enjoy and love Yatish's answer on this. So which money habit of Yatish do you secretly find annoying?
Sometimes he spends without thinking.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, if it's travel, then he will just spend without thinking how much is left or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. What is the last thing you bought that made you really happy?
Very recently, we bought a bike, which I bought first time by my own money. The
Okay.
one that I already had was by my father. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. If you could describe your money personality in one word, what would you say?
I'm a money saver.
Okay. And what do you value more, freedom to spend today or financial security for the future?
Financial security for the future.
Okay. So that brings me to the end of the questions to you. Let's see what Yatish has to say. Yatish, the same questions to you. If you won 50,000 tomorrow and could choose to do anything with it, what is the first thing you would spend it on?
definitely travel.
Okay. What is the one thing you would never spend money on, no matter how much money you had?
Any material things like clothes and other these things.
Okay. Would you rather save for a dream home or spend on amazing travel experiences?
Travel experiences.
I'm realizing this question is a business question. What is your biggest money fear?
That I don't have money after retirement in future.
Okay. If you could hire someone to take one task off your plate, what would that be?
Something related to do with my health, like manage my health somehow.
Okay. Which money habit of Apeksha do you secretly find annoying?
Too much thinking, giving too much thought for not so thoughtful reasons.
Okay. What is the last thing you bought that made you really happy?
I'll say the same. I'll give the same answer. Our bike, because this was something which we did together. So we keep on doing travels, but this was like a
Asset.
yeah, something which we bought together. So yeah,
Okay. If you could describe your money personality in one word, what would you say?
I'll say definitely a spender, but a conscious spender
Okay.
and a little bit saver.
Okay. what do you value more, freedom to spend today or financial security for the future?
I'll say both because I don't want to choose from this. I
Okay.
want both things. I want the freedom today also, and the security and freedom in the future as well.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of the rapid fire. Let us quickly have a look at who scored how much.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Apeksha, apparently you've scored 4 out of 9, right? And Yatish, you got 5 out of 9.
Wow.
So you
Wow. See.
Pretty bad, but better than me.
right. So I think on this question, I'll just point out some interesting ones. Okay. So so this was a question to Apeksha, right? I mean that what is one thing that you would never spend money on? So Yatish had written that you would never spend money on ornaments. Okay.
Yeah, true.
If you could hire someone, and this is the interesting one, if you could hire someone to take one task off your plate, what would it be? It is going to the gym.
Oh, yes. That is also true. Probably I don't know myself more.
And when we had asked Yatish that, which habit of his do you find annoying, he said traveling throughout India to photograph reptiles and amphibians. Okay. Yeah, so I think these were the interesting ones which I pointed out. Let's come to Yatish. So in the case of Yatish, yeah, so in terms of, if you could hire someone to take one task off your plate, what would that be? It was routine chores and errands,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think not too many interesting things here. I mean, largely aligned only. so, so, but yeah, great. I mean, great. I hope this was a good experience for
Oh,
you.
this was nice. I think we should often do that also.
Chalo, great. So I think it's time to kind of close the episode now. So thank you once again, Apeksha, Yatish, for agreeing to be amongst the very first guests on this show. Thank you for helping me
Absolutely.
get this started, right? There's a lot that I'll be taking back from your conversation, but the one thing that stands throughout is the importance of communication in a relationship. I think that is very, very important, and that becomes a source of conflict, and also giving each other the space. And I
Yes,
think that's a
yes.
lesson that everyone should take back. Would you like to add anything for anyone who's watching this, for people who are in a similar age and stage as you?
Firstly, thank you for having us. This was one of a kind experience even for us. I mean, having said this multiple times that we sit and discuss things, but I think these were very broad level questions which you typically don't ask each other. So I think for people who are watching this, try to ask these questions to your partners
Okay.
and try to be in this situation, because these questions also made us think about how we plan or how we look at things. So yeah, everybody has their own way of
true.
planning finances, and like you mentioned in the beginning, that how you were brought up or how
Yeah.
your family used to manage money also plays a very important part in your own financial planning. So everybody has their own way, but at the same time try to see what people are doing, discuss with your friends, and try to understand if there is a better way of managing your finances well. So yeah, thank you so much again for having
My
us.
pleasure. It was my pleasure. Yatish, you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for having us. It was a great experience for us also, a very different experience. And yeah, the one thing I want to tell your viewers, everything, keep things simple, communicate, and yes, money does buy happiness, but then prioritize what is your happiness, how much happy you want to be, and how much money you want to make accordingly, or at least choose the route towards the happiness. That is also good. So yeah, keep things simple, keep communicating, and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yatish. Thank you, Beksha.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Rahul.
Yeah.